Hello everyone and welcome to the Great Aspen Bake Off. Today we're going to be making Gary's Golden Shortbread. So there's certain things that we'll need with our ingredients and our utensils, but obviously we're in the kitchen, so we need to make sure firstly to wash our hands before we start to do anything, and secondly, if you're a mucky baker like me, you might want to put an apron on to keep your clothes nice and safe. So, ingredients. It's really simple. There's only 3 things for shortbread. We'll start with the butter. We want 125 grams or 4 ounces of butter. Then we'll need 55 grams or 2 ounces of caster sugar and 180 grams or 6 ounces of plain flour. Let's look at the utensils. So firstly we're going to need a set of kitchen scales, a mixing bowl, a rolling pin, a baking tray, some greaseproof paper and a whisk. If you haven't got an electric whisk, we can use a wooden spoon or a normal spoon. They both work absolutely fine. If we are using an electric whisk, have to remember that it's an electrical piece of equipment, so we need to have an adult with us to make sure we're doing it safely, okay? Right, the first step. So we're going to put the butter and the sugar into the mixing bowl and mix it into a nice smooth paste. So we can use a spoon or a wooden spoon for this, and what I like to do is use the back of the spoon and squash the butter into the sugar onto the bottom of the bowl, and it'll end up a nice smooth paste like in this picture. So secondly, we'll then need to add the flour into the mix, and again we can mix this with either a wooden spoon or a whisk. So once we've spent a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes probably, mixing the mixture together, it should look just like this picture. It's like a soft, crumbly mix. And then comes the fun part. So we can use our hands and we can mix it all together into a nice smooth ball, like in this bottom picture. Okay, so now we're going to have to roll the mix out. So the first thing we'll need to do is we need to sprinkle a little bit of flour onto our work surface, like this picture. That will stop the mixture from sticking to the work surface. Then we use our rolling pin and we're going to roll out our mix into a lovely flat, even shape, about 1 centimetre thick, like in this picture at the bottom. So now we're doing really well. The next thing we need to do is cut our mix out into the shape we want. So what I've done is cut it out into sort of rectangular finger shapes, and you can make little patterns or decorate the top if you want to as well. So once we've done that, we're going to lay them onto a baking tray. So we need to put the greaseproof paper on the baking tray, and then we need to put our shortcake biscuits on the greaseproof paper. Once you've done that, then we can sprinkle a little bit of caster sugar on the top. It makes them nice and sweet. Make sure there's plenty of space between these biscuits, because what will happen is once they start cooking, they might expand a little bit, and if you put them too close together, they'll end up in just like one big massive biscuit. So here's the really important part. We put the biscuits in the fridge for 30 minutes. Once we've got our biscuits in the fridge, we can preheat our oven. So we need to preheat it to 190 degrees C or gas 5. When the oven is at the temperature and the shortbread has been in the fridge for 30 minutes, Then we can think about putting our stuff into the oven. So take your tray out of the fridge and place your baking tray in the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes, or until the shortbread is a nice golden brown colour. So when we're happy that they've been in the oven for long enough and that the shortbread's a nice colour, we can take them out the oven and place the shortbread onto a wire cooling rack and leave to cool down. Important to remember when we're using the oven, always make sure there's an adult around, because obviously they're quite dangerous, they're very, very hot. So here's a picture of the ones that I made. Brilliant, you've made some shortbread. So all that's left to do is eat and enjoy. Happy baking, and I really look forward to seeing some photos of what you have done. And I hope you enjoy eating them. See you soon, take care.